Jesus freak here. With my previous phone, I did a stupid a couple times, and the protection I had on the case when I had to take it off to put in the SIM card, it just wouldn't stay that way. The case kept falling off. So it was just a matter of time before my butterfingers did it in. Now it was still working when I switched phones. Just there was some shattered glass on the outside screen that caused some issues with the camera, and eventually a drop dislocated half the inner screen. So I wound up switching phones again, and it was minor downgrade, but nothing really noticeable. Once I got everything set up, then everything I did that didn't involve the big screen on the inside is the same pretty much on this phone as it was on the other one. But for some stupid reason, it was ignoring my settings when I said I don't want this thing to use its power saving features for my chat app, because it's a stateful chat system, and having the thing drop me offline if the screen's shut for 2 or 3 minutes can be a big problem. There's a saying, when in doubt, reboot. Because on Windows, that almost always fixes things. I don't usually take that into consideration on the phone because it's running Linux, as Android runs on top of Linux. And usually they say if you try, rebooting for something that's not working right on Linux, usually it means it's going to get messed up even worse. That's not always true. This computer here runs Linux, and sometimes when it starts acting up, rebooting does help. Rebooting helped here, because once I got the thing back, once I turned it off and on again, it stopped being like that. If I leave it for 10 minutes, it's still connected. But I use phones in a somewhat unorthodox way. Basically, to me, if this has the capability of being basically a tiny computer, that's what I'm doing with it. I'm using it as like a tiny computer. And I just keep a few things on it, like I did. And I know, it doesn't do things as well as the previous phone. But, messing up the old phone was no one's fault but my own. I keep a copy of my church's hymnal on my phone. I'd rather have the music than just the words. And of course, I have a web browser. I have the SiriusXM app that I'm using because I'm sharing the connection with a friend who doesn't use the online portion. I have the app for my phone company. I have the app I use to upload my pictures. I have the Open Camera, which I like better than the Samsung camera. I have the program I use to establish a terminal connection with my mail server. I got everything I need here. Took a bit of work getting everything set up, but it's fine now. Anytime I have to switch technology from one system to another, there's growing pains. This is somewhat mitigated by the fact I'm going from a Samsung phone with Android 12 to a Samsung phone with Android 12. So it's not really that much of a difference. Did I get frustrated because settings weren't taken? Yeah, I did. I just decided on a lark to try something about it. It happened to work. Got almost everything set up. I tested out most of the apps I use. It picked up at least some of the settings which I had backed up in the cloud. It's got my passwords pulled off the cloud, which is probably a mixed blessing. Basically, I can just go on with my life as if I hadn't had to switch the phone. And that's a good thing. Plus, I can benefit from some things this phone can do that the other one couldn't on account of the format. Maybe it could have done it, but it wouldn't have been as easy. See, when I did that video last night, where I showed this Old Testament and that other Bible I showed, I wasn't using my computer. But you didn't really notice that much of a difference, I'm sure, because I had the camera more or less in the same spot. That was actually taken on this phone. Now you might say, oh, I got this from Pastor Brett. He even said as much in one of his videos. And Pastor Brett did a lot of his videos with this phone. And Pastor Brett had a lot of videos that were mirrored. That's a default with a lot of the camera apps you got. That's just the way the camera app works on this phone. But I installed a different one that tends to allow me to do things that the official one doesn't. In fact, it's the same one I've been using on the other phone. It's the same app I used when I've been shooting out on the landing. I've been shooting some of the Sunday readings. This, of course, means, everything works exactly the same as I'm used to. Just take this kink it a little bit, set it down. Switch to the selfie cam, and boom. And it stands up fine, even though it's not as thick as the other one. And, you know, if I had it completely unfolded, I set it there, and it wouldn't stand unless I propped it on something. But I can kink it a little bit, and it's fine. But that's not going to matter when I go out on the landing and shoot my Easter video. Because I can just take the phone and I have a music stand sitting on the landing. And that's what I do. I set the phone on the music stand and record like that. It functions like a tripod. I've been pulling a lot of, late nights, but that's just, I'm a night owl. So I do a lot of my videos late at night. So that's just, I sleep a lot in the mornings, so that's just me. Anyway, Jesus freak out.